Hey y'all, I'm back for part two of my video series I'm doing. If this is the first time you've ever seen my channel, it's called Savannah Reds. Um, like I mentioned in my other video, I just did a little while ago. Um, I'm 2.5 weeks post-op for back surgery. A little bit more about that in my other one, but I'm bored to death. So I thought I'd do a couple of videos just on the tackle that I use. People always have questions about it. I'm always curious what other people use too. Just me. I think a lot of people are though. Whether you've been doing this for a long time, like I have. I've been fishing this area. Um, I hate to admit it, but over 50 years. Started with my dad when I was a kid. Um, Fishing a little bit south of where I'm at now. Not too far, about 25 miles. Matter of fact, I put the boat in and make the run down there quite often. It's actually cheaper for me to put my skiff in at the ramp close to the house here and run down there in a boat. It's cheaper and quicker for me to do that than to tow it down and either go to a ramp down there or put it in at a hoist at one of the marinas. But anyway, thought I would go over the second video, just the lures I use, the terminal tackle that I like to use. First thing I'll say is I don't, I've got some hard lures, hard baits. I don't fish a whole lot of hard baits here locally, with the exception of maybe just top water. And it's getting almost that time of the year for top water. Or I do have a couple of shallow running crankbaits and the weight baits that just barely run under the surface of the water, and literally they make a little weight behind them. Like I said, I mentioned that in another video, but now the water, well, other than this little cold snap we just had the last couple days, I'm thinking that we're approaching St. Patrick's Day here in a couple of days, and normally it warms on up after that. Always gonna have that one little bit of a cool snap right there at Easter, seems like. But after that, we're usually pretty good, and the water's consistently warming up. So it's getting almost that time of the year where the redfish, some of them will start pulling out of the backs of the creeks. More and more baits gonna show up as the water warms. They're gonna get more and more aggressive, and those little crankbaits, shallow diving, and I'm talking about like 3 to 5 feet, or some of them only dive like a couple of feet. Little weight baits, like I said, they run just barely under the surface, and they got a real wide wobble, make a lot of commotion, a lot of wake. Those reds will jump all over those things at the right time. So other than that, those are the only kind of baits that I use a lot of. I'm just going to show you real quick. This is one of my boxes. I've actually got a couple of gold spoons in here too. Something that, if you're from Florida, that is like possibly the #1 lure that everybody uses down there. I'd never really fished it a whole lot here, had a whole lot of success with them. But this year I decided to give it a try again. A buddy of mine said he'd had some pretty good luck with it, buddy Steven. So I figured I'd try it, and I actually have had some decent luck on them. I've caught a couple of really nice reds on these things. So I'm gonna give them a little bit more of a shot this year. I've got my other hard bait box, and this has got some older ones. I got some here I need to change hooks on. As you can see, that thing there looks like it's been worn back. But I also use some of these if I go down to Florida. I've been down a few times to Steinhatchee, Keaton Beach area, up in the Big Bend, and do quite well with the hard baits up there. You just never know. Some days they want hard baits, some days they want soft baits. But like I said, I'm not a huge hard bait fisherman, or at least not here. But that's what I got. But this box is This is where I probably use 95% of the time stuff out of this. I've got all my different various jig heads. As far as jig heads anymore, I pretty much just use either these Texas eyes, like this. This is a 1/4 ounce, I believe. I've got several of those. I've got some lighter weight ones on like 1/8. I've also got some of the finesse, Texas eye finesse jig heads. These only have like a 1 offset worm hook. They're very light, but I caught a really nice, the last time I was out for, actually before I had surgery, I had one of those on, and I caught the fattest redfish I have ever caught, and possibly the heaviest. He was only, I say only, he was only 29 3/4 inches. But I don't know what that fish been eating, but he was heavy and just really, really thick and fat. I caught him on one of those little 1/0 hook Texas eye finesse, and you can't try to horse them in with those because they will straighten the hook out on you. I've learned that the hard way. But I had that teamed up with a Z-Man baby goat, a pearl color, and that fish liked it. So those little hooks are fairly strong though. It didn't straighten it out at all. I've got a few of these Ned rig style hooks, but what I have really been using the most are these offset belly weighted worm hooks. I like to fish around a lot of structure, mainly oysters, and those Texas eyes, if you can keep them swimming over the top of the shells, they do okay. Keep your rod tip up high. But those shells will grab those jig heads. If you ever stop reeling, they'll settle down in there, and you end up breaking it off because they just won't come out. But I've had a lot better luck using these offset belly weighted worm hooks. I believe this is a 3/0 hook here. This is a 1/4 ounce. I believe this is the 1/4 ounce. Yeah. Now I had, and I think I've about run out of them, but I had some of these that were 1/4 ounce, but they were a 2/0 hook, and they're almost impossible to find. But I found a company, they're called, I believe it's Falcon Tackle, that makes some in a 2/0 1/4 ounce. And unfortunately, I didn't save the name. I found them online, so I'm going to have to get back online and search. But I like those on a really small, the smaller soft plastic baits, the 2/0, like a 3-inch, or even that baby goat. It would work with it. It's a kind of a little bit more of a finesse bait. They're not real big, so the 2/0 work good with that. They also work good with the Z-Man swimming trout tricks, because those are a kind of a thin profile bait, and you don't need a real wide gap hook with them. The 3/0s work, but personally I like the way the 2/0 fits it better. Still plenty of gap. Don't have any problem missing too many fish. You're gonna miss one from time to time. But anyway, this is kind of the box I spend most of. I've got some rattles, which I haven't been using lately. I need to go back putting those in lures a little bit more. Another thing, I've got this other gold spoon I found. I found this in a pack. I've got stuff stashed everywhere. This is from several years back. It's called a Red Ripper, I believe. I don't even know if they still make these things, and don't remember who made it. But I've never tried it. It's actually got brass rattles. It's got a rattle chamber, and it's got this little skirt. So I'm curious to try to give that a try this year. And another thing that I have had in the past, I have not gone back to using this in the last couple of years, but spinner baits. I have had really good luck with the spinner baits and redfish, especially in darker, dingier water. Little flash, little vibration, helps them find it. Back in the day, back, I'd say, 2008, 2009, back in those several years back. I was using this with the white Gulp, I think the swimming mullet, the curly tail ones. And man, we always call those white Gulp swimming mullets redfish candy, because the redfish absolutely love those things. That was a deadly combo. Put one of those on a spinnerbait. Might have to go back and try that again, except I'll do it with a Z-Man. Curly tail. Simple fact that they don't tear up. That's the only bad thing about the Gulps. They actually, I understand they've changed their formulation a little bit, and the newer ones aren't as tough as the older ones. I heard they tear really easy. But I've gotten away from using Gulps. I've just been using pretty much Z-Man products exclusively in the last couple of years. And show you the ones that I've got a bag of them here. As you can see, I might have a Z-Man problem. Me and my buddy Steven Smith were laughing about this the other day. I had all these in a couple different hard plastic bins, and it was just hard to keep them straight, and they were getting to be a mess. So I decided to try putting them in this old boat bag and see if it makes it a little easier to keep them straight. I've got them arranged by lighter to darker, all different styles. I've got swimming minnows, shrimp, a couple of the creature baits, a couple that look like crabs, but I figured maybe I can keep them straight that way. But out of all those, some of those I bought. My youngest son Cameron, he's bought several different colors trying them, so we've got way too many. I'm wanting to try to pare my colors down to maybe 5 or 6 or 7. You get to looking at it, it's like, oh gosh, can't not have that color. So, I think they make all these colors to hook fishermen and not fish. And I'm as guilty as anybody. But this year, I've got 3 colors out here. And I would say this is what we caught the majority of our fish on. Probably 90% of our fish in the last season on these 3 colors. And this is one that my son Cameron tried. This is Captain C.A. Richardson, one of his custom colors called Beer Run. You can see it's a very light color. It's got a little bit of fleck in it, a little sparkle. He absolutely wore the fish out on these this fall, and in the video we did back when he came home for Christmas break from college. You can look that one up. It's on my channel. I can't remember, but I think the trip was on somewhere around December the 10th. This is what he used for the most part that day. He absolutely wore the redfish out, and had some good luck with stripers too. This is the other color we've had good luck on. Root beer chartreuse tail. Everybody knows that's good color. Caught quite a few fish on this. This one Cameron requested I get some more of these. I've got 3 different styles here. I didn't even realize that I had these pogies. I forgot about them. It's a 3-inch, just like the Minnow Z, but it's a little bit fatter profile. Sometimes fish are a little finicky toward profile for some reason. So I picked up a pack of these. Actually, we've used a couple of them. I'm not sure that it really made a difference yet. We've used some of the Minnow Z's. I've just bought a new pack, but these are the Swimming Trout Trick are the ones that that we seem like we've had a little bit better. I won't say better luck, maybe because we used them more than the others. But we have had really good luck with these. It's a 3.5-inch lure, but it's a real thin profile. Like I said, sometimes they, especially in the spring, maybe most of your bait's a little bit smaller. The mullet are real small, shrimp are generally small. So I think maybe it might kind of help match the hatch a little bit. But that's another really, really good color. The third one is probably my favorite. this, I'm gonna see if I can get this thing here. This color, another one of Captain C.A. Richardson's custom colors, called Bloody Mary Sunday. I have absolutely destroyed the redfish on this color this past year since I started using it. I'm not sure what it is about this color, but I personally have caught more redfish on this color than any other one in the last year. Generally, you know, a darker lure for darker water, stained water. But I tell you, I actually did pretty well on these, actually in a little bit more clear water too. Actually, some days the water was actually really clear, and I just happened to have one on and just started throwing that, and I did really well on it, even in the more clear water. But that has been my favorite this year. I'm not sure what it is about it. Like I said, a little bit of red in it, or at least me. Another thing is I'm colorblind as a bat, so if I say something that sounds stupid by the color, well, you'll understand why. That's just the way it appears to me. But it's got a lot of gold in it too. Redfish seem to really like that gold flake. I've actually got some lures that are called Z-Man. They're called gold flake. They make shrimp that are called a gold flake. Had good luck with those. And then the swim, not swimming, Trop Tricks. They're the Menazes, I believe, or either the paddlers. I can't remember. They've got one that's called Golden Boy. This got a lot of gold in it, and I've had pretty good luck with it too. But anyway, those are the three that we have absolutely, no doubt, done the best on. If I had to narrow it down and I can only have 3 colors, that would probably be the 3 colors right now I would pick. Simple fact that we've done so well on them. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of throw this together. Anybody had any questions about, you know, what we were doing, what we were using? I know I'm always curious about what other people use. So hopefully it'll help. Maybe it'll help somebody. I don't know if you're new to the saltwater game. Maybe you're new to, you know, using artificials. You know, I know growing up, it was strictly live bait fishing. We're talking about back in the 60s and 70s with my dad. It was a lot different world back then inshore, especially here. You know, not many people used a lot of artificial lures back then. There were a few. If you used some screw tails, that's what they called them back then. And there was a one called a Christmas tree, I remember, that people used. Don't even remember what color it was or what style of lure. I remember hearing about it. A few hard baits. I do remember my dad talking about that. They called it plugging. You know, they used to plug for trout, as he said. But I grew up live bait fishing, and then when I kind of got back into didn't fish for several years. When I was in my 20s, I was doing too many other crazy extreme sports, and probably one of the reasons I had to have back surgery. I'm sure that contributed. But when I started back live bait fishing, but starting to use some artificials too. And in the last, oh gosh, 2 or 3 years, I've just gone exclusively back to artificials. Last year I threw, I think we threw live bait, me personally, one time. Me and my middle son Josh went out one day goofing around and just decided to get some mullet, and I was going to see if I could find some redfish in a spot. Turned out it was really water. The wind got up, it turned the water into chocolate milk where we were at. It was on a flat, so we kind of abandoned that and went somewhere else, and found some sharks cruising another flat in the shallows, and Josh just didn't catch a shark as anything, so he caught him a couple of nice sharks. They're always good fights. We had a good time, but other than that, I haven't fished live bait. I've caught a few from my wife. She started fishing with me a little bit, and she grew up, fishing in the pond with with live bait with her grandparents, and so she's new to the saltwater scene. Kind of trying to get her up to speed, and later in the year couldn't get any bait, just had couldn't catch any with the net, so she had to fish artificials, and actually she finally caught a really nice redfish on artificials and some really big flounder. So I've convinced her a little bit, and artificials a whole lot cheaper than buying $25 a quart shrimp, I can tell you that. Don't have to worry about them dying on you and all that. You don't have to worry about the yellowtails eating them up, or crabs and all that. So anyway, that's just kind of the way I like to fish now. I'm strictly artificial. I like the challenge. Also trying to get into the fly fishing. We love to go up and pole the flooded grass for reds, and I've always done it with spinning tackle, but my buddy Steven built me a fly rod last year, a nice 8-weight, and unfortunately I didn't manage to catch a red on it this past season. It was kind of a bad year for me. Had very limited days to go out in the flooded grass. Tides weren't that great, or at least when I could go. They were all during the week. A lot of times couldn't go. The few times I did go, the wind was horrendous on some of the days. So it was a challenge to try to find somewhere out of the wind where it was manageable to pole the boat without really having to fight it the whole time. And then I was by myself. And poling a boat by yourself and trying to fly fish does not work, or at least not for me, because I'm still a novice at the cast, and I'm still kind of thrashing, trying to learn. So it didn't work out for me. But that's kind of my story about the fishing. Prefer artificials over live bait, and maybe it'll help somebody else that's trying to make that transition. It can be it's a steep learning process. It is a steep learning curve, but stick with it, because once you kind of figure it out, you can catch more fish faster with the artificials than you can live bait. Believe it or not, especially with the Z-Mans, you're not having to change them out all the time. They might wad up on a hook, you just slide them back in position and go at it again. You're not having to try to fish bait out of the live well, all that. Some people like live bait fishing, and that's fine. If that's what you like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not what I like doing now. I enjoy the challenge. So anyway, just wanted to put this together, get it out there. Maybe it'll help somebody, maybe not. Give me something to do for a little while, because I'm bored out of my mind until I can go to the doctor, and hopefully he's going to let me get in the boat in another week or two, I hope, so I can go fish myself. So thank y'all for watching. Hope everybody has a great day. Take care.